Hi guys, and welcome to the JKT Right Bit.
Oh boy.
Almost there. Try it again.
Please leave that as like a cold open.
Oh, yeah.
Hi guys, and welcome to the JKT Radio Podcast, episode 33, where all my bad jokes and flubs go out the window. I am your childlike hostess with the mostest, Kira, and I am joined by the last boy, Devin.
Yeah.
As well as Thing 1 and Thing 2, McBride and Chris.
Hello.
And we're here to bring you whatever hell has come upon the news this week, or whatever bullshit we have.
Which I forgot to gather topics again, because I'm trying to ignore society.
Yeah,
What's a society
well, aren't we all?
And society's trying really hard
Not to be one.
To not be ignored. The society is basically Glenn Close from Fatal Attraction just going, I will not be ignored.
I wish I understood that reference.
Yeah, it's a 90s thing.
Okay.
It's an old thing. You know what I think the greatest thing I saw the last few days was? Is, it was just, the title was, Great Things to Tell Your Friends, and it was only one line underneath it. There was only one great things to tell your friends. It's August.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is August.
Here's a fun fact. I kind of technically moved out a year as of next month.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I moved out and into my friend's spare bedroom beginning of September.
Oh, dude. Nice.
There you go.
And then I moved right back, but below.
Yes.
You moved to the
Actually,
base below.
I think I remember the exact date I moved out. Weirdly enough. Like, for the first time, I should specify. It was September 18th,
1943!
1906!
It feels like such a monumental thing, right? Like, because it's like your first time
well, you
not
see,
living
it's
at home.
not difficult to me to remember the first day, when I first moved out, because it was literally January 1st.
Yeah.
It was the first day of the year.
Yeah, I think I
Perfect,
got...
there you go.
Yeah, and then it all went downhill from there. Because fuck 2020.
I'm still in my house. I'm still in my parents' house.
Nah.
We've offered you the spare.
The temptation is growing with every passing day.
Fair enough. Oh yeah. So did you want to talk about the package you got?
Oh yes, I got an enormous package today.
Oh boy.
Oh,
When we
oh
phrase it
my.
like that.
Oh my, I'm intrigued by this enormous package.
Hello,
So-
Barnabas.
I don't
Yes,
know
tell
if
us
you
more
guys
about
are-
your enormous package.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are aware, but I am ever so slightly colorblind.
Ever so slightly, as if it's not worse than you expected.
I mean, yeah, and I've known about this for a while, mainly because I get protonopia or something like that.
Chrononopia, yeah.
Protonopia.
Red green.
Yeah, which is talking red green. And
I know what that is.
yeah, so it's like I'll be looking and I'm like, I think for me, I think the watershed moment for me was
Rey's lightsaber.
Rey's lightsaber
Yeah.
from Star Wars, because at the very end Rey gets a yellow lightsaber.
It's not spoilers
Yep.
anymore. It's been like a year.
It's been a while. People have talked about it enough. And it's also like I feel like there's worse things I could spoil from that
I
movie,
just
but
remember
anyway.
we had like a full conversation. So like,
We had a full-on conversation because thing is, I'm so used to the blue and the green,
and he kept insisting it was green. I'm like,
and I
no,
swear to
that's
God, because
yellow.
when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, cool! I'm so glad they gave Rey a green lightsaber." And Chrissy, you were just like,
That's yellow.
and I was like, "No, it was green,
Like, no.
green like every other not blue
no,
lightsaber."
that is a very piss yellow. It's a piss saber.
The piss saber.
The piss
Like-
saber, I love it.
You cannot get more yellow than what that was.
And there was, I think even the internet had some confusion because some people were like, "No, it was green," and there was like, "No, it's gold." I'm like, "It's yellow."
Oh, Christ, it's
Gold.
the dress
There
all
is
over again.
There is.
It
Oh god,
is.
not the dress.
I mean, to be fair, there have been other canon yellow lightsabers, but like nothing in the movies. So it's just like,
Yeah.
oh hey, so yeah, that was kind of the watershed moment for me. Is suddenly realize, oh, I'm not seeing things correctly. This is not good. So we got some prescription sunglasses sort of thing. Well,
Oh, like the that allows
The
you to
color
see
glasses.
colors better?
yeah,
Yes,
pretty
those.
much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And boy, have they made a appearance upgrade. But English is hard. Basically, I can see colors a lot better.
Okay, that's
awesome. Does grass actually look green now?
I mean, grass has always looked green, but it just looks a lot greener. I've never had much. No, but thing is, I never had trouble with like the grass green and stuff like that. Like general stuff I can tell, but it's like when it's like different shades of like green and yellow, and also blue and purple. I've always had issues with. And occasionally red.
Let me tell you now, Devin. My Switch remotes are purple, not blue.
Well, I've never seen your Switch remotes, so
I think that's not true because we did them for Smash.
Yeah, but I don't think I ever commented on them.
Yeah, I think we were too
purple and orange.
We were too focused on me trying not to make everybody's ears bleed.
Again.
Oh God, please no.
Oh shit, no, I didn't. I just opened
and everyone wanted the GameCube remotes. I think I was the only one that used the Switch remote.
Yeah. No. I know somebody else used the Switch remote, the Joy-Con. I think that was you.
I used one of the Joy-Cons during the Smash tournament. Yes,
yeah.
I definitely did.
No, yeah, that was when we did the everyone versus me, right?
Yeah.
No, in general, I think he mostly used.
I think in general, I don't think I ever switched.
Oh.
Because I generally prefer. It was Victoria, me, and McBride that were sharing between the three of us the 2 GameCube controllers.
Yeah. There was 3. Oh yeah, one of them I stole. That was mine.
I just spilled iced coffee all over the place. I'll be back.
Oh no. So
that's essentially how the year's going.
Pretty much. It's been just
a mess.
A sheer horrid fuck ton mess.
Like remember when 2016 was the low bar?
Wasn't 2016 the year that all of the celebrities died?
Yes, it was. Yes. That's how the year started. The year started with David Bowie and Alan Rickman
Everybody
dying.
died.
Yeah,
and then it ended with Carrie Fisher dying and Donald Trump becoming the president of the United States.
Right, yeah.
Like, it was still pretty bad.
That was the apocalypse year, and then this happened.
And then we realized 2016 was fucking great.
It was...
Well, it wasn't great.
It was a signal of things to come.
It was great compared to this.
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't even remember. It's like, oh yeah, what was 2017 and 2018 like? I can't even remember at this point.
Remember.
For me, it was horrid pain.
Yeah.
Because that's when my program at work switched. And switched again, and switched again within 2 years.
Oh no.
And I was just like, 1 week I'd be doing nights, and then the next week I'd be doing 5 a.m. shifts. I'm like, I'm dying.
I remember that.
But you remember nobody saw me for months at a time.
Yeah, I
because
remember
I was
you disappeared.
Physically dying.
You disappeared for a year. You were like the fucking Avatar. You pulled a Luke Skywalker and just vanished out of nowhere.
And then I showed up once at a party and everyone was confused.
Yeah, I think I was very, very confused too because I don't think I really knew you that much.
No, the thing is,
you met me once. I think,
and then you stole me.
As terrible as 2016 was, it was the year I met you, so it wasn't all bad.
Just mostly
bad. Adorable little shits.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Adorable little shits.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I feel like this is turning into how many episodes in a row can I have something fill or fall over on me?
Well,
so you know what?
We're gonna need a new jingle.
Yeah, I know. Oopsie poos with McBride.
Oh God.
Everything's falling apart. Hey.
So, I've got ashtray cans currently that could fall on me. So.
Oh well, there you go.
Do we have a story time with Kira, or are we safe this week?
Let me think. I don't know what time is anymore.
Well, that's
I don't
standard.
think time knows what time is anymore anyway, so it's fine.
True.
Time isn't a human-made construct. It doesn't actually exist.
This is
It's
true.
Controlled by the birds.
And Dr. Manhattan.
I found it's really, really funny though hearing other people now with pandemic and people are very confused about time and how it's I don't know what time it is anymore. I don't know how it works, and I'm like, finally, people understand my daily fucking life. This weird nebulous pandemic shit, that's my brain all the time.
It's one of the symptoms of the coronavirus. This is actually just
gives you ADHD.
Gives everyone ADHD.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the only real story I got is almost falling in the creek on Friday. I almost fell in a creek.
Okay. Let's go with that.
Let's go with that. I got a phone call to walk my grandmother's dog.
Running the whole intro.
Go.
Story time with Kira.
Okay,
I think that's long enough. I think it's only like 4 seconds, 6 seconds.
Yeah, if that. And even then, like, I can still just throw it in whenever.
Pause it and
throw it in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Story time with Kira.
Fuck it, run it again.
We'll do it live.
Once more.
Story time with Kira.
Okay.
You guys make that joke so much.
I sense a recurring joke here.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first time we did it, Victoria thought it was really funny.
I've done it so many times. So I got a phone call to go take my grandmother's dog, who is a big fluffy chow chow.
Oh yeah.
To the park, because she's not in great shape anymore. If we want to know how ungreat shape she is, a 20-minute walk from me to the store and back took her 2.5 fucking hours.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh dear.
Do you understand? I was walking with her the whole time and just going,
oh, that
this was 20 minutes for me.
Piss me off.
Oh.
I can't walk slow.
I mean, I walk slow, but that's too slow.
I know, it bothers me.
Oh.
Whenever we go to the store and it's just like, let's go, let's go, let's go,
no.
let's go.
See, I don't mind if there's somewhere I can sit and just wait while people wander around a store, but trying to walk to the bank that they swear is open, getting there, finding out it's closed.
Oh,
it took us an hour to get there. So it taken me 10 minutes. And I was like, I just came to buy headphones, guys.
Like, you should just like scout ahead first, and then intercept her on the way back.
Right.
She swore up and down it was open, but then when we got there, she's like, I thought it was Friday. I'm like, it's fucking Saturday.
Oh dear.
But then again, I didn't know that either. I didn't know what day it was.
Nobody knows what day it is.
But yeah, so I think it was the same day I got called to go to the creek with the dog. So my uncle went with his dog, a big husky, and then I took grandma's chow chow. And I thought we were going to the beach, the actual dog park on the beach. Because that's where I like to go, because Jasper's, the chow chow, his name is Jasper, is a lazy bastard, and he'll walk into the gated park and sit down. And then I can just sit on a bench.
Perfect.
It's really funny because I know your dog's name is Jasper, but since we also have a friend
sounds just like Jasper.
Named Jasper, except Jasper's not a lazy fuck.
Jasper's not a lazy fuck, he's a beanpole. But so I'm like, I was kind of half snoozing on the ride over. I look out the window, I'm like, this isn't the beach. Where are we? And he's like, oh, we're going to the creek. I'm like, what? And I kind of looked at him like, at least I'm dressed for it. I'm wearing flip-flops, so I got shorts on. And I walked, and I'm that asshole. I walked into the creek with the dogs. It's fine. I didn't realize how deep it was.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
So I walked like 3 steps in, and it was at my knees.
Well, I mean, you're not particularly tall, says me, who is also like an inch taller than you.
That's still like a good 1.5 feet deep of a creek.
Yeah.
That's deep. I didn't even get to the deep part where I could see that it was deep. This looked shallow. I thought that was shallow. As I was wandering in there with the dogs. And then I got a phone call while I was like perched, one leg on a rock trying to get onto it, and one leg still knee deep into the water, and it was starting to wobble because the rock I was standing on wasn't steady. I answered the phone still, because I'm an idiot.
Oh boy.
It's my mother, who does not understand the 7 times I say, hey, I'm standing in a creek, I need both my hands for balance. Hey, I'm standing in a creek, I need both my hands for... Almost fell like 3 times.
Of course.
Oh my God.
What saved me is Jasper wouldn't move, so he was right up against my leg that was in the water, fully tilted, and it was keeping me steady. I was like, I love you, you fat fluffy fuck. Thank you.
Also, we just made a shocking realization.
Although I
should probably light this that's in my hand.
I don't know if any of the people here
they wouldn't understand, but that's okay. But our, Jasper, not the dog,
our friend Jasper,
reminds us of a character in Critical Role. That's all. That's just what they're...
I was like, I have zero knowledge of Critical Role, minus the fact that it's all voice actors, and I'm told I need to watch it, like, by 20 different hands.
Yeah, it was just a suddenly, like, oh my god.
Well, it was okay. It was like, oh god, because, the same thing happened where, there's this actor who also happens to look exactly like our friend.
Wasn't it a musician?
Oh no,
that was a drummer.
That was
the drummer.
Drummer. Yes. I'm still thinking of our friend, our other friend Jasper.
Our boy.
Our boy.
A different Jasper? Or the same Jasper?
No, same Jasper.
Same Jasper.
There is only the one Jasper.
There is only one.
There can only be one.
There's only one mortal Jasper. Dog doesn't count.
And is he mortal, or is he some sort of?
Are we sure he's
god?
Mortal?
Like
he's some kind of beanpole god.
If any of our friends it turned out to be an eldritch god, it would probably be our friend Jasper.
Are you sure it wouldn't be Jade, though?
Jade's not an eldritch god.
True, she's just like a nature spirit.
Yeah.
Fucking druid. Real
life
dryad
real life
shit.
druid.
Real life dryad druid shit.
Same both.
Yeah.
She's a furbolg. A very tiny furbolg.
Yeah, those things are like 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
Not a furbolg.
So I swear to God, the furbolgs in D&D, just I remember looking at some pictures of them. I'm like, these look like they just came out of the Dark Crystal, which I swear to God, we have talked about the Dark Crystal at some point during all of our podcasts.
Yep.
But
it comes up every other one, pretty much.
Keeps coming back. Keeps coming around.
They look like a creature of the Dark Crystal, but one that I can actually find friendly.
They're cow elves that can turn invisible at will.
No. They're cow giant elves.
Yeah.
Because they're like giant and they're like fey giants.
They're fey giants, essentially. Yeah. They're giant fey elves that.
I started making a spare character that was a furbolg because of course I did. I need things to do.
You want things to do? I can give you some things to do. Let me just send you 50 files to edit.
No, thank you. I need things to do that I will actually do and don't require a time limit because ADHD hates those.
Fair.
Fair enough.
It's be like in school where it was like, hey, when you go home, read 3 chapters of this book. I'm like, well, cool, I'm not going to do any of that.
Oh, God, yeah, no, like, when I was in grade 9, we had to read, I think it was To Kill a Mockingbird, and I could not convince myself to read the fucking book. But I could read another book in a freaking day.
Yep.
And then I finally sat down, I'm like, okay, fine, I will read a couple chapters of this because I have to. And then I finished the book in 2 days.
I got in trouble for finishing those books before everyone else.
Oh, same.
Well, you see, it's weird. It's not like I dislike reading, but when it's like, you have to read this many chapters in... Well, first of all, you have to read this many chapters when you're not at school, when you're at when you're at home, and you'd rather do anything other than read this shitty book that your school's giving you.
Yeah, it's like I will either read the book all at once or I won't read the book at all.
Yep, and the thing is, I don't think I would ever finish any of the books they gave us. I would just look it up online. I'm like, well, cool, what happens? Great. That's all I need to know, so I don't have to bullshit my way through class.
I had to read The Outsiders in grade 8. I didn't have to read Killing Mockingjay. I had the last book of the universe instead.
Oh, I remember that. That was actually a decent one, though.
That was decent. That was half decent.
We had to read The Little Prince in French in my French class, and most of the time, because I took the class twice, I actually got like all of the answers right when I was in class, just because I could remember the wrong answers from last year.
Nice. That's how you do it. I had to read The only English class where I enjoyed the book is because our English teacher is just like, here are some projects. There's like a list of like 12 projects. And he's like, pick any fiction book you want.
Oh.
Do 4 of these 12 projects. I'm like, I love you.
I remember that.
I love
was amazing.
this.
That's so much better. It's like cool.
This is the best book project ever.
Yes. You get to talk about things that you're interested in, not what the fucking school curriculum thinks you're going to be.
God, I remember how
I had to do my project in a closed room though, because my book talked a lot about cannibalism.
Which book?
Fun.
It's called The Thin Executioner. Great name.
Oh
boy.
I think I remember this.
Yeah, me and Jade had to do our projects in a separate room.
I think I had a class in university that allowed me to do something similar to that. I still failed because I wasn't medicated.
Well, I feel like the way he did it, I can't remember the English teacher's name, but he was honestly the best English teacher ever. He's like, yeah, here's your project. You have 4 months. And he gave us actual classes to do it in as well.
Yeah, I remember that.
The classes would probably help.
See, that's to me what you should do.
Like, this is great. This is how you do a class.
Because, I never understood the concept of, let's give all these kids homework. Like a lot of homework. Like, a little bit of homework is fine to me, because I'm just like, yeah, whatever, I'll get it done once I get home. But when they give you shit tons of
pages
homework,
and pages and pages,
and it's like, cool, I've already been going to school for 8 hours out of my day. I want to go home and detox from it.
Yeah,
but
8 hours of schoolwork and then 4 hours of homework.
And the thing is, it's like, thing is, and people complain, it's like, oh, you just don't want to do work. It's like, no, I enjoy working for stuff.
I just don't want to do this work.
But again, if we're having to do half the fucking work when we're off school, what are we going to school for 8 hours for? It's like, I don't understand.
It's like, you've essentially created a 12-hour workday, plus you expect kids to have, like, actual lives and do extracurricular activities. I'm like,
And
no.
you don't even pay us.
We don't. No, they don't get paid to do that. 12 hours of work is already, like, against technically labor laws, but, you know, schools are different.
Me laughs in film industry.
Yeah, but for like, unpaid, like,
these are kids from 5 to 18.
Yeah.
No. And then you expect them to get exercise, so, like, that's at least another hour or two.
Plus an
14
hours of sleep, which nobody
8 hours.
8 hours of sleep.
And then you have travel time. What science are you following where this math makes sense?
Don't forget food. Food is important.
Oh yeah, I forgot about eating.
Yeah, that and also just general mental health.
Screw that. Who needs that? You get a cut.
Worry about mental health after you graduate. There's no time for that.
You get a cut on your arm and they'll send you to the nurse, but you have a mental breakdown and they tell you to get your shit together.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I didn't even get sent to the nurse half the time.
Off you go.
Well, there is no nurse, but, like, you know what I mean. People always. If it's not physical, they don't care.
And now they want us to do all this during a fucking virus.
Oh, and don't get me wrong. The only reason why they care if it's physical is because they can get sued if it's physical.
Yes.
There's physical proof that there's something that they're not paying attention to.
I was sent to I think in elementary school, I was sent to the office at least 3 times a week for being injured.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I can believe that.
So that's where the story time with Kira started.
They were all from gym, and that's because I played goalie in every sport.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think the worst one is outside soccer, and I took a ball full force from across the field to the face. I got sent back 3 feet and into the ground.
Holy shit.
It was a great day for me.
I remember
goal didn't count though.
I was just saying, I was looking at, like, my Twitter because I forgot I have one of those. And there was just a tweet there that said, reason whatever why I should be wrapped in bubble wrap. I managed to I think I tripped over a dolly thing and also spilled water everywhere on the floor at work. So,
see, it's weird. Like, I get people get really weirded out when I say this. I have never broken a bone in my body.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah.
Okay, very close.
So it's not actually that unnatural.
No,
it's not. It's rare, but it's not that uncommon.
Okay. Because I used to remember, like, at some point during school, especially during school, there would be the one kid who would break a bone, usually their arm or something.
Yep.
Hey, dude.
That one kid was
I've only broken 3 bones.
Oh, so
only one of those was at school.
I have a fun story about a broken bone.
Ooh. Yes.
So, it was Canada Day when I think I was 12, 13, something like that. And I'm just out in the front, just rollerblading, and I fell backwards. Of course, first instinct is to throw your hands back so you can catch yourself.
Terrible.
So, so I fall backwards, throw my hands back, and all of a sudden I hear a snap in my left arm, I think it was.
Yep.
And I'm just like, yep, that ow, pain, and ow. So I sulk back inside, I go to one of my parents, and they're just like, I think my arm's broken. And so, side story of that, we were having plumbing being done in our bathroom at the time, which it was one of my brother's buddies who was apprenticing to be a plumber or something. And then it was just none of the pieces were fitting. Like, he didn't want to be there in the first place. And then, like, maybe an hour or 2 into the job, he just left because he had to go to a party. So parents were already pissed off that this was all happening. And apparently he did a shit job at it as well. So I go inside. Kid has already left. I go inside complaining that my arm's broken. I think it was my mom, like, grabs me and is like, what's wrong with you? Grabs my arm, starts playing with it. She's like, no, you're fine. Go on. I'm just like, it hurts. And so there was this one part that my dad needed, some kind of plumbing part. And we had to drive around for what seemed like 2 hours to try and find, like, a Home Depot or a Canadian Tire or anything that was open.
Yeah.
There was only one. So we got there. Found the piece, it's all fine, come back home, all that's done. Meanwhile, I'm like sitting in the backseat, I'm holding my wrist the entire time, just complaining, just like the subtle tear shows up every now and then. I'm just silently whimpering away. and then so we get home, it's like 9 o'clock at night at this point, so I go to bed, because whatever, I've been told to go to bed, and don't worry about my arm. I'm just like, alright, fine, like, go in bed.
You just sprained it. You're fine.
I know, exactly. And then, like, and then so I'm laying there, and I think I tried to sleep for like an hour, and all of a sudden my mom bursts into my room and is like, all right, let's go to the doctor, for fuck's sakes. So we're on our way to the ER, and I'll never forget this line for as long as I live, and we use it to this day. My mom, on the way there, just in such an angry tone says, it better be broken. we get to the ER, wait like a couple hours or however long it takes to finally see a doctor. Go in, he checks it out. He's like, "Yep, the arm's broken." My mom's just like, "Oh my God, Trev, I'm so sorry."
Oh God.
Oh yeah, that was not a fun day.
No, I think the closest I have to something like that is that there was a time when I was supposed to get stitches, I think, in one of my toes, and I didn't. Because, like, back then, I used to like to skip rope, and I hated skipping rope with, like, shoes on, because it just didn't feel right. Like, I couldn't... It felt weird to skip with shoes on. But they would always make me do it, especially because in the garage that we had, the man my mom was dating at the time was an alcoholic, so of course there's broken glass, as per usual. So there's broken glass bottles, you know, in areas. Mm. But like, so they let me go skip rope, and of course I'm always told to wear shoes, so I wore my slip-on shoes and I kicked them off, and I'm skipping rope, and of course what happens is that I get a rather large piece of glass into my pinky toe. And I'm like, Mom, I did something. And it's like, I'm not sure how much of this I've made up in my memory, because I have like very poor recollection of anything in general, but especially of my childhood, because yay, traumatic memories. But I do remember, I think, seeing bone.
Oh.
I think. Oh. Possibly. Either that, or I was over-exaggerating, because that's what you do when you are like a 10-year-old child, something like that.
Your bones are fun
it
to
would've
look
been
at,
8.
trust me.
I mean, I remember seeing white, and it wasn't because my vision went white.
The white could actually still be your muscles being exposed to air.
It's possible. I really don't know. So we put a Band-Aid on it. And then I just kind of let it heal on its own.
Oh,
well, actually, no, we wouldn't have even been able to use a Band-Aid because I'm allergic to those, so I must have used, just
it would have been
gauze.
Gauze.
Yeah.
But you can wrap gauze pretty well around
Yeah,
a
I think
toe.
I think it would have been, gauze or, or when we were really poor and shit like that, we just used, toilet paper and used an elastic band and kind of just keep that tight around it. Or, walk around with, clenching my toes and just, having toilet paper wrapped around it and just kind of went on with my day and just let it heal. And I think I still have a scar on that toe, actually, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, yeah. So I
Yeah,
probably should have got stitches, and that's not the
Probably.
only time I've had to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only bones I've broken is obviously my finger with the lizard. You guys all,
yeah.
I forgot that
all
you broke
saw me
your
later
foot.
on.
Or broke your finger.
I remember that.
Yeah, I saw you all literally hours later.
Yeah.
I just forgot it actually broke your finger doing that.
Wasn't
Yeah,
that
it actually broke the tip of my finger above the joint, so it couldn't actually... How it went is yeah, your finger's probably broken. We could x-ray it to see and find out, but there's nothing we can do. If it is, and I'm like, well, what's the point of getting the x-ray then? He's like, and I'm like, what's the point?
Well, I mean, if it's shattered and shit like that, then you have to make sure your bone shards aren't fucked up.
There's already no feeling in it.
Fair.
We could tell how badly damaged my finger was. My nail was in pieces.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah, true.
Remember?
I remember being nauseous.
Yeah, and then the bandage fell off several times. You're going, oops.
Yeah, and that was
That was not the same day.
That was Victoria's birthday.
It was, yeah.
Oh, okay, so that wasn't the New Year's.
No.
That was the birthday.
No, I was just very, very drunk that day.
Yes, you were. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Very
You were
drunk.
also very drunk on Victoria's birthday, I think, because of the blood loss.
No, yeah, I was just high off blood loss.
Yeah, that too.
Because I had lost so much blood, because it took them several hours to see me in ER, even though I'm leaking blood all over the floor.
It's just a flesh wound.
Well, I mean,
No,
yeah,
it is a flesh wound.
unless you have chest pains or anything like that, they'll make you wait.
Do you
for
know
as long
who-
as they
No,
want.
not even that. Not even that. I have a story for that, but I'll in a second.
Do you know who they saw instead of me first? One of them I understand. One of them I didn't.
All right.
One of them was maybe a 3-year-old who had a fever.
Fair.
That is it.
The fevers can be dangerous for toddlers.
Yes, that is the one I understand.
Yeah.
The other one was an older man who had a splinter.
Oh dear God.
Oh, really?
Oh, that reminds me of another time I went to the ER. I realized I went to the ER a lot as a child.
Same. That's why I
this
have
was
hearing
actually
loss in
later
one ear.
on. Yeah. So I was having an asthma attack, but it was the first time, and I didn't know what it was. So I go to ER.
That makes it better.
Yeah. So go to ER, explain what's happening, and sit down. It's all right, that's fine. And then
Tell you it's a panic attack.
well, no, it was an asthma. It was an asthma attack, but it was minor enough that it wasn't that bad. So I'm sitting in one of the beds waiting for a doctor to show up. And I'm just I've calmed down a little bit since then, but they're just waiting to come back for results and I don't know, the puffer and whatnot. And so sitting in the bed beside me, I noticed was a kid, could have been 12, 13, 14, somewhere around there. Completely silent, no tears, no whining, no crying or anything like that. Had a nail about halfway in his foot.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
I'm just all of a sudden my asthma attack isn't such a problem anymore.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's called
I've done
shock.
that too. Actually,
Yeah.
now that I think about it,
Yeah.
flip flops and wood planks don't work.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No. I've pulled thumbtacks out of my foot many
same.
times.
Oh, well,
That's pretty
that's
common.
yeah.
Yeah.
Stepping on a security tag is not fun.
Ooh, yeah, no,
Oh,
those aren't.
God, no.
The only other time I've broken a bone is I broke it at school during a fucking run. And the way I broke it, and I know how it broke, is I tripped at the top of a really steep hill. Devin, this is the Delbrook Run.
Oh, I forgot about the Delbrook Run.
Delbrook Run.
Fuck
There's a
the
really
Delbrook
steep
Run.
gravel hill at one point in the Delbrook Run.
Yes.
Oh.
And I tripped at the top. And my brain, in a split second, is like, I don't want to fall down that bush. Is safer. So I went into the bush. I dove at the last second as I was falling. And I hit a tree.
Oh.
And I'm not talking about like a full-grown tree. It's like a little piddly like baby tree, and I
like a
snapped it in half, obviously. But I'm pretty sure that's what broke my rib, because after that, I'm shitty at runs. I have zero cardio, but it hurt so much more.
Yeah.
And then for like 2 days, it still hurt. And then I went to Mom like, I actually want to go to the hospital. That's when Mom knew it was serious.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I was willing to go to a doctor.
Yeah. So we had, I think it would have been a year ago or maybe 2 now. I hate, so I really, really, really have a bad vendetta against I think it was the Royal Columbia. I actually hate them because, so my mom has asthma. She's had it her entire life, or at least for as long as I can remember. And because she's also a chronic smoker, as you do, she has 2 different kinds of inhaler. She's got the blue one, the kind of like emergency inhaler.
Yep.
And then she's also got the orange one, which she's meant to take like every day. It's like a preventative steroid kind of thing.
Yep.
And she's really bad about a lot of things, but especially about getting refills for her inhaler. So I guess by this point she had gone several months without having that inhaler. And now in general, Mom, we'd had this experience one time before where Mom wound up having an extended asthma attack where instead of getting like that wheezy feeling in your chest, she wound up having that kind of thing for 3-4 days. Where it was just like that pressure on her chest, and by the time she actually went to the hospital, they were basically like, your oxygen is so low that if you had come in any later, like, you would have been fucked, basically.
Yep.
So this time when she went in, I just remember she was having what seemed to be like an anxiety attack. She had just gone down the shower, and I guess because she'd taken some ibuprofen and she was worried about the pills being expired or something like that. So like obviously, having that weird pressure in her chest, can't breathe, a little bit panicky, called 911 to get an ambulance, go to the hospital. And then they kept and like we're sitting there in the hospital, and I'm just kind of like, and like we're because they've done like the EQ, they've done all like the tests, the heart tests, and like the stuff like that. They haven't done anything for breathing, but they just tell her like, okay, I think it's just an anxiety attack, right? So we're just sitting there in the ER, and I'm just kind of like, hey Mom, did you tell them about your asthma? And so like they do a test, but because she doesn't have that wheezing feeling because it's an extended attack, it's not like a your standard I can't breathe attack.
Yeah.
They just keep the nurse that's there and like the police officer that was there or something, like somebody official, I don't remember who they were. They kept telling me like, no, tell your mother it's just an anxiety attack. I'm like, no, we've had this before. She's having an asthma attack. We're sitting there. I think we sat there for 2 hours before I finally get off my ass, and I'm like, and I go, it's either me or Mom or both. We're like, can we get somebody from whoever does the oxygen breath thing and get her an inhaler?
Cardiologist.
Thank you. I could not remember the word.
That's okay.
So they bring in the cardiologist and they get her the inhaler, and it's like she has the inhaler and then she's got the long plastic tube that you breathe through. And they do that, she gets like 2 puffs and she's immediately fine again. And I'm like, if you had just listened to us 2 fucking hours ago, we wouldn't have had to waste your time and our time and the government's money and our money. And so, and of course immediately after the hospital, she winds up having a smoke because of course she does. Because, we get out of the hospital because she's had an asthma attack and her asthma is getting worse to the point where she needs to breathe through a tube because she smokes. But let's have a smoke outside the hospital. But yeah, so I'm just like sitting, like I have a huge vendetta now against that fucking hospital because if they had just listened to us instead of just dismissing it as a fucking panic attack, like what if that killed her, right? Like, it could have been bad.
If that's actually the case, you're allowed to sue the hospital.
I just, this was a couple years ago, but still, fuck the Royal Columbia.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was smart and had a brain and wasn't in so much shock after my finger got infected, turns out I could have sued the hospital, but I didn't think of it.
Yeah, I've been to the hospital a lot.
Fucking clean it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Note to our viewers, if you get an extreme flesh wound from an animal that requires a tetanus shot, not only should you take the tetanus shot, make sure someone cleans it.
Yeah.
Especially with reptiles, because, like, they can carry bacteria and salmonella. Like...
Oh, they can carry so much more than
like,
salmonella.
that's specifically why we have to, at work, we have to have, like, we give out these zoonosis guides, like, hey, keep in mind, these are the things you can carry. Wash your hands after you handle the animal, and so on and so forth. Because... Yeah. Surprise.
I'm loving that this is basically just the injury episode.
Yeah.
Da-da-da.
It's like the story time with Kira, but just like all of us.
We've had a few of those.
That's true. We have basically all, I think. It's funny. I don't think I've ever had like anything that serious.
No.
I'm trying to think now, though.
I think the most serious one I had was when I almost lost my hands.
Excuse me?
Sorry,
have I not told that story?
Sorry, what?
I feel like I would remember that kind of story.
I mean, I know this story, but...
What the goddamn happened?
Okay, so, I don't know if I've probably showed you at the very least, but, like, my pinkies don't flatten. I can't flatten them.
Yes, I remember that.
Like, there's a little bit of a bump to them. So, when I was... I was, like, very, very young. Like, I was an infant, basically. I don't know if I would have been, like... I had to have been at least under 2 years old, if not, like, under a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I used to have this large teddy bear, and I've always been a bit of an anxious child, so I'd always have, like, these kind of, self-soothing things that I would do. One of them would be that I would always, like, so this bear had a, ribbon around its neck, and like I would kind of always, like,
or something?
Yeah. So, and because it was such a nice feeling to rub my fingers against silk, I'd kind of always, like, twirl it in my fingers. And then I guess at one point in the night, I had done this, because again, it was a self-soothing thing, and I had wrapped my arms in the ribbon to the point where it was wrapped very tightly around my hands. And my mom comes in and checks on me because she's also an anxious person. We're generally, just the entire family is full of anxiety. And she comes and checks on me, and she just sees me with my hands wrapped up and blue. And so she panics, obviously, cuts the ribbon off me. We go to the hospital, and as we're working, I think somebody must have been driving, either dad or, like, we might have been in an ambulance. I don't really know. I don't think we would have had time to wait for an ambulance. But they're just, like, rubbing the oxygen back into my hands. And the pinkies were always the ones that they could never get the oxygen back into, as well as the rest. Like, it was always, I guess, because, when you're focusing on rubbing the oxygen into hands, you start from the front and you go to the back, so the pinkies got last. And the doctor said that if mom had waited any longer, I would have lost both my hands. But as a result, I think this is where I get my arthritis from why I have a bit of arthritis and, like, tightness in my fingers. And also why my pinkies just don't flatten fully. My knuckles are a little bit damaged, and they just don't really work well. But yeah. And then,
when hands don't work for completely different reasons.
Yeah. And then, there's me losing a lot of, like, constantly going deaf in one ear because I constantly got ear infections in that one ear, and now it doesn't drain of wax, and yeah. Then there's almost drowning several times. Burning my arms at least twice.
That's fire.
Burning my hands at least once, trying to not go into a fire pit. Yeah, I've
That's
got a
just
lot of
fun.
Holy crap.
I've got a lot of experiences like that.
You're special children. I do find it hilarious, though. Let's just add insult to injury. That the two people that are most afraid of needles in this group have the most needlework done. McBride, I'm looking at you.
I know.
And I'm looking at me.
To be fair, I am also terrified of needles, and I would also love a lot of tattoos if I could afford it. Kiki.
Very true. But then again, there are, like, tons of people.
Crying.
Yeah, totally fine. There are tons of people that, and I feel like mumble rappers are the worst for this, that just have a bunch of, like, little tattoos everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
that like little like $60 tattoos, but just everywhere that encompass an entire sleeve, or like for
I find
colors on the face.
If done
or
well,
anything like
I
that.
find that the sleeve ones can be actually kind of cute.
Yeah.
It's
If
not
done
my
well.
style. It's not my style, but if done well.
Yeah. See, and I want a sleeve done, but like I'm one of those people who's like I want it all done at one time. I don't want to like.
You want it to all like mean something at this, like all have a
Exactly.
cohesive theme.
Exactly.
I think you would need to go to for like 2 or 3 visits. That would just take too long.
Oh yeah,
You
no,
can't
for
do
sure.
all
But
one
like,
setting.
not all at one time, but like it's one giant thing as opposed to like
It's a
20 to
cohesive
30
unit instead
different
of
things.
just mishmash. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I really want a sleeve on my left arm, but I can't decide if I want it colored or not. Because
yeah, that's
I
always
decided,
the iffy thing.
for me, it's like I started wanting a sleeve when I was probably about 15, 16, and a big reason behind that was also because especially back then, I used to always color on my arms. So if I had a sleeve, I wouldn't color on my arms. And so the reason why I'm debating is like I prefer color tattoos. But also, if it wasn't colored, I could color it in.
Yep.
I could be my own coloring book, and that would be fun.
Yep.
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 See, I know probably once this is all over and I feel safe going to a tattoo shop, I know what I want. And now I gotta find someone that will do it. And I gotta find someone to go with me that's not Vince because he won't let me do it.
What is it?
The Barnabas tramp stamp.
Yes!
What's the Barnabas tramp stamp?
It's exactly what it sounds like.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
Is it the horse hoof on the behind?
I thought it was just
No,
name.
it just says Barnabas.
Oh, I see.
But I'm going to
dear.
probably get the S to like swirl into like the devil's tail, so it's underlined.
Oh, I
That would
like
be
that.
cool.
That's cool.
That would be
Yeah.
very cool.
I think all of us would go with you for that one.
I'd go with you. For that.
Yep, absolutely. We
Just
can
so
make
you
it a
guys know,
field trip.
Field trip. I am a pussy little bitch when it comes to needles.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So
Like,
needles
I think-
have never bothered me really. Like I've never liked
main-
them, but
Yeah, I'm terrified.
I had the first time I got my nose piercing done was a experience because they had a hard time with actually piercing my nose. I don't really know what happened, why it wasn't really working, but so when he pierced it, basically, sorry,
Do you have scar tissue on your face?
no.
No, because I know that's a very large problem if you have scar tissue.
No, I think generally there's just a weird issue with my nose shape, maybe, or something. Like he couldn't get the ball to clamp in, or there was an issue with getting it to clamp in, to the point where like he actually had to take like a piece of tweezers or something like that to get it to stay together. And I've run into this issue with my nose piercing before. Like the reason why I've tried to go with studs before, but aside from the fact that studs don't suit me, they also won't stay in no matter how much you twist the corkscrew. They will fall out. I lost like 8 nose piercings within like a span of a week. They just
Get a
don't.
different sized gauge. That sounds like a gauge problem.
We tried that at one point. Nothing was working to hold them in. It was literally they would unscrew from the hole itself.
Also, they're at least the ones I'm not wearing. There's no screw.
Well, it was like when you twist it in, that kind of thing. And like this was also going back actually would have been about 10 years ago now. Oh god. But
This one is like 10 years old.
I don't
I
know.
had my nose piercing done at 14.
Mine
of
was
spite.
about 15 out of
Yeah,
I had to write an essay to do it.
My eyebrow is 13 years old.
I wound up
'Cause
writing
I
an
got it
essay
the
to
same year my niece was
convince
born.
my mom. Aw.
Adorable.
It wasn't for
Yeah,
my
like,
niece. It was just a happy
they had to-
coincidence.
Oh.
They had to,
Mine
like,
was
squish
my
it in.
mother dared me and said I wouldn't do it, and I did it out of spite.
See,
that's the best way to do a lot of things. I
Yeah.
feel is just out of spite.
mine was
Yep.
actually my mother didn't want me to do it, and then I think it was because my mom has like 10, 11, 12 piercings or something like that, but she didn't want me to get any facial piercings because she doesn't have any facial piercings, and that was just kind of the thing. But she basically was like, okay, you can do this if you can write me an essay 750 words. Or no, sorry, it was 300 words originally to convince me why. I'm like, that's easy. She's like, okay, fine, do 750. I wrote 1345. She should not. I literally almost doubled it. And this is why you don't test me when I want something, because I will make sure it happens. The eyebrow piercing was a compromise because she didn't want me to get a lip ring, and kind of thankful for that, actually.
Yeah, I'm thankful for that as well.
Snake bites were cool, but they are very...
Yeah, I just about fell into that trap as well.
You know, the emo days.
I know, right?
When you get a lip ring, you can't leave those. Those aren't things that you can just back away from.
That dang MCR.
Right?
They're so hot. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm glad I never fell into that hole.
Yeah.
I tried to get my cartilage done a bunch of times, but they always get infected.
I'd love to get my cartilage done. Yeah,
I'm too much of a greasy baby.
Whenever things like lifted and I feel confident enough that like tattoos and piercing places are like fine and I'm not gonna get all like infected and shit like that. I'm gonna get my ears done and I'm probably gonna get my sleeve done.
Nice.
Come with me. Let's go.
To be fair, I think
we are making a field trip of it now.
I feel like tattoo and piercings places would actually be the safest place to start out because they're generally they're so, depending on the place, but generally they're so particular about their hygiene because they have to be.
They have to be. But the other problem is we live in a not... Go look at downtown. It's not great.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's where almost all of them are.
Yeah, that is also true. Yeah,
well,
I really want to get more earrings done.
Yeah, I got my tattoos done both at the same place, Gastown Tattoo. And they're very, like... Yeah, they're very particular about making sure, like, all the needles are clean. Like, when you go in to get something done, like, everything, all the needles are still wrapped up, and they're, like, putting it together in front of you as well.
Yeah. I like that. The one I went to did that as well.
Yeah.
But the problem with it is... Okay, go.
Sorry, I was just saying, because I think I got I was either my nose ring or my eyebrow, or maybe both. I got at I was living on the island, but we wound up taking a trip over to Vancouver, and I think I got mine done in Port Moody. I think it was Black Rabbit, actually.
Oh yes, I know about Black Rabbit.
And I really liked their tattoos as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I got mine done. Because they wanted to take me to they wanted to take me to like an all-lady studio because I had very, very intense issues with men at the time.
Fair enough.
So.
Yeah, I got both my tattoos done at a place called Funhouse.
I think you've mentioned that.
Yeah, I think I've heard of Funhouse.
Funhouse is fun. But the only problem with that one, and I'm not sure about other tattoo studios, this one, there is only one room and 4 people.
Oh dear.
I think
okay.
It's open plan.
Oh, okay.
I think
there's no like little half wall. No, you're probably touching the other table with someone on it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See, that was the good thing about Gastown. Like, it's kind of like split level, and like it's open plan, but it's big enough that like there's each station is its own specific like basically room.
No, I kept feeling really bad because I kept almost kicking when I was getting my chest tattoo.
The N7?
Kicking the N7 one. I kept almost kicking the guy that was next to us.
Oh no.
And you know how small I am.
Yeah.
And how powerful.
I am extremely powerful. I think the main reason I didn't freak out with that one as much as I did, because of the angle the guy had to do it at, he had to physically put all of his weight on my shoulders, so I had lost almost all of my power.
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh damn.
It was like, I cannot fight you because you have removed every single piece of power I have.
So when we go with Kira, we have to keep like at least 30 feet back.
Yeah.
Or we just all pile on top of her.
You just restrain me.
Yeah, you say that as if I have any muscle capacity.
We'll just
can restrain me.
We'll just make sure to have her in a straitjacket before we get there.
Yeah.
Well, there would be a problem with the fact that you need access to the lower back, and those things kind of strap onto the nuts.
Yeah, they do. Just move it to the side a bit.
Yeah, there you go. Just flip it up a little bit. It'll be fine.
Cut a hole in it.
Yeah.
This is where the tattoo hole goes.
Put it here, please.
Tattoo goes here.
We say this, and yet I'm very now that I think about it, I'm like, how does clothing work with like for example, with like, Barnabas remind me of tieflings. Tieflings remind me that they have tails. Tails remind me that, do they have to cut a hole in all of their clothing?
Tails usually, the way tails work is they go over the pants but under the belt.
Yeah.
So the belt loop goes over the tail where the pants are underneath it.
But what about the skirt? Like if they're wearing skirts?
A skirt, the tail goes underneath.
Yeah, it would go underneath, I would think.
Yes.
Because a lot of people always draw them as like coming out of just like the back of the dress.
Yes, then there would be a hole cut into it. But most of D&D clothes, everything is custom made to a character or tailored, so there probably is holes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just a lot of like things you don't really think about until you do. But just, how all of life works. Thanks, brain.
Yeah.
Barnabas tiefling. Yeah, because
You don't
with
think
that,
about
I want
things that we do.
the S to have the devil tail, but I also want the horns over top of it. So the horn halo that Barnabas has.
Trying to think of which letter you could do that on.
No, that would just be over top, not attached to it.
Ah.
It would have to be the B and the S anyway if it was.
Yep, that makes
Well,
sense.
I mean, that would make
Bullshit.
sense. He's BS.
Yeah.
Everything he does is BS.
Everything this man does is complete and utter bullshit.
One day we will explain what Barnabas is. Or maybe
We
won't.
can.
One day.
No, we can. Remember, I have all the recording gear, and I bought the game.
House party.
Wait, what?
That's when we get to explain Barnabas is house party.
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
And because I've been told that campaign is 100% done and cancelled, I can let everything Barnabas has out of the bag.
Yeah,
Everything.
Wait, what campaign?
The campaign that he's a part of.
The campaign that Barnabas came from.
Oh, okay.
The Eldritch Monstrosity.
Not the campaign I run, where Barnabas randomly shows up and has a forced fuckfest.
Yeah.
Not that one.
Or not so forced when it's Twig.
No, not forced. Forest fuckfest.
Oh.
Remember? When y'all fuck in the woods.
Yep.
Yeah, well, when you roll a 69, it kind of just happens.
Fucked in the woods.
I banished those dice for a reason. They only rolled 69 on the percentiles.
It's an R-rated version of Into the Woods.
There were no musicals in that version.
There were no
I'm sure there were
musicals on
some
that
people
day.
that were singing.
Oh yeah, they went high into the octaves, just not the kind of octaves you guys want.
Musicals haven't been that messed up since Cats.
Ugh.
We don't talk about that.
Did you guys
Unleash
see,
the butthole cut.
Did you guys see that Andrew Lloyd Webber himself was just like, I don't know what the fuck that movie was, and he created Cats.
Yeah.
The story of creation behind Cats
It's wild.
is apparently wild from what I've heard.
I think,
Yeah, I was looking at some of the clips from the movie, and I think, McBride, me and you know how to edit better.
I think
Probably,
I know how
yeah.
to edit better, and I don't know how to edit.
Do you think that's something we should react to at some point?
No.
No.
Yes.
That means I have to
No.
watch it.
Yes, exactly. Does that mean-
Absolutely not.
I feel like it would be a great idea.
It's a terrible idea. What are you thinking?
How about, if you want to do that, Devin, warn me beforehand, I can smoke the rest of this box and drink a bottle. And then I will be able to do it.
Or just invite her over for the horror fest that is, in fact, that Lord of the Rings shit.
Not again.
I don't think I can get Kira to sit through a Lord of the Rings related thingamajig.
Not after that.
No.
I sat through, 30 minutes of that thing?
Yeah.
And then I left.
Yeah. Then you.
And
need to leave.
I actually regretted leaving because it took me 3 hours to get home.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you should have just stayed, and then you could have gotten a ride home.
Fucking, I was an idiot.
Well, no, you were just traumatized out of your mind by that stupid, terrifying creature.
I should have gone outside to get high.
Yeah, I think I remember you regretting not doing that when we were
Yep.
watching.
Yeah.
Yes, I was.
I think I was regretting not doing that, and I've never freaking smoked shit in my life.
I can give you this one in my hand.
I'm good.
I keep picking it up.
Oh dear.
I smoked part of it already.
Oh yeah, we started watching a bit of The Umbrella Academy. That's kind of what we were caught up in before we started.
Yeah, we didn't want to just be like, hey, we're halfway through an episode of Umbrella Academy, we want to finish it, just hang on, but
we were halfway through it at the beginning. We were halfway through Umbrella Academy, and you wanted to finish it.
Yeah.
I played. I'm on 0 sleep still, and I played some Minecraft.
So the season's really good so far.
Oh,
but
it's
we won't
fantastic.
say anything.
Okay, yeah.
All right,
no,
shall we?
I need to watch it.
Shall we end it there, darlings?
Yeah, let's do it there.
I think we're about ready for time.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring a ding 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 the crazy frog.
Yes.
Eventually, we'll
for
get
more
back into
notifications
the
on bullshit.
Yes.
And what other? Yeah, when we get equipment that functions, we will do other things.
And maybe see each other in person.
Maybe. Who knows?
One day.
Who are you people?
I've never met this woman in my life.
You guys are gonna find me. I've somehow managed to grow a beard.
Right.
You know what? At this point, I wouldn't even be surprised.
I could see you with a beard, Kara.
It's just the Barnabas.
Devin, you've seen me in a beard.
Yes, I have.
Barnabas just slowly just taking over like a freaking possession.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, he doesn't have a beard though.
No, but he would grow one to spite.
Bye, guys.
Hey.